just a basic introduction to Quran word for word. Let me just move this out of the way. Is this large enough for people to see in the back? Can you see it okay? Or yes or no? No? Okay. Where is the... Sure, 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 sure. Yeah, I'll do that. If I don't do print layout, how do I... Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to... There used to be another layout, isn't there? I'll just fit. Okay. Is this better? A little bit? Okay, hold on. Let me. Okay, we will improvise in a minute here. Okay. So I'll just quickly highlight something for you here. Okay, maybe I'll do this. Some basic terminologies that we must know. And then I will use these terminologies across the content of the course here, inshallah. So dhamma, the sound here is oo, yes, and the shape of the lips actually is where the sound or the terminology originates, right? The oo, the rounding of the lips, is the dhamm of them. So that's why it's called dhamma. It's the oo sound. The fatha is a sound, and you notice in my mouth, fatha, you're literally opening your mouth to enunciate clearly. That's fatha. And kasra is e. My jaw is dropping down in a way, kind of like breaking, and that's the e sound. Interesting story. Before we begin, we were talking about Humran, the servant of Uthman. There was Abu Aswad, excuse me, ad-Duwali. He was the person who was a close confidant of Sayyidina Ali radiallahu anhu when Ali was the Khalifa. And he noticed that his children were not reading Quran correctly. So he was concerned. And he spoke to Ali radiallahu anhu. He says, this is very strange behavior. I can't stand this. So he instructed his daughter that when I read the Quran and then my lips go oo, put a dot above. And when my mouth goes put a dot to the side. And when my mouth goes e, then put a dot to the bottom. And that was the first version of the tashkil, the dhamma fatha kasra. Okay, subhanallah. And that's how she did it. She watched her dad read Quran, and from the movement of the lips and the mouth is how the dhamma fatha kasra were deduced. Subhanallah. So it's a really powerful way. And if you study tajweed with any of the mashayikh, they will very heavily focus on you pronouncing right? It's for that reason, because that's the originating sound. Now we have the tanween. Let me move this here. It's out of the way, right? Actually, that's your screen. Could you? I think it's okay, right? Okay, perfect. Okay, great. The tanween is basically two dhammas, two fathas, or two kasras. So Muhammadun, yes, Muhammadan, an, Muhammadin, in, all mean the same thing, Muhammad. But the last letter changing its sound is indicative of the role that this word will play in the sentence. That's more down the road. We are not going to bother ourselves with the grammatical specifics at the moment, but this is something you should notice over time as you read the Quran. Our focus will be more on what does the word mean, less on what type of role the word plays. Okay, so this is tanween. Now, if I was to take the word kitabun, the word is kitabun. Let me write this here properly. Where to go? Oh, it ran away to the side. Hold on. All right, there we go. Kitabun. Kitabun means what? It means a book. It means a book. Okay. Now, here is what happens. If I was to add al to the word kitab, right? Al to the word kitab, it will no longer be bun. It will no longer be bun. It will become al-kitab Okay, it will become al-kitabu. And the meaning will also change slightly. The meaning will become the book. Perfect, right? You all with me? This is just how it works. Okay. If you were living in the 7th century or 8th century Muslim world, and you went up to someone and said al-kitabun, you probably get smacked or something, right? Like they would not tolerate that kind of behavior. Okay. So there is a whole genre of jokes, I kid you not, in Arabic grammar books about a Bedouin Arab who has very pure Arabic interacting with people who, like, 8th, 9th century, their Arabic is slowly declining. And the, utter disgust that the Bedouin is feeling towards the people of the city because their Arabic is like degrading in quality, right? There's a whole genre of jokes there that we used to, like, our teachers will always mention it. But it's true. Back in the day, if someone made these kind of rudimentary mistakes, they will get absolutely, like, dismissed. Okay. The same thing applies for the word, the one with the 2 fathas, kitaban. Yes, kitaban. For our purposes, kitaban is still a book. Okay. Now, what happens if I add al to it? It will become al kita. What do you think? Al kitaba, right? And the meaning remains the book. Okay. And finally, kitabin, okay, which means a book as well. And what is happening? Oh, if I add al to it, kitabi, perfect. And the meaning is the same, the book. But the grammatical usage will be different. Now, as I mentioned earlier, we are not going to be concerned ourselves with it. I just want you to notice it. And enough noticing it, a pattern will emerge. And then I will tell you, here is the reason behind the pattern. And inshallah, then it will become easier to codify. Okay. When the time, the pathway we're taking is observe the pattern. Okay, inshallah. So this is the second basic piece, or excuse me, the third basic piece, the concept of al, meaning the. Okay. And we studied Surah Qasas, we completed these ayat and whatnot. Now I'm going to zoom out a little bit. This was January 7th. So I just wanted to quickly review and bring everybody up to speed. I am going to now make a duplicate tab here. This is a new thing I saw in Google, Google Forms, so I was quite impressed by it. Let me try it today, okay? So we have today. Look at that. This is, I feel very much at peace with this. Okay, now we did a quick recap of basic Arabic terminologies. We did that already, alhamdulillah. And now we are going to jump straight into Surah Qasas, ayah number 4. Okay, now the website that I wanted you to utilize and that we are utilizing together is QRW110.com. I'm not sure why it's not showing up for me. There it is. Okay. 28. All right. Do you all see this? Yes. Right. Also on this, as a resource, I've added 2 more things. I've added the Al-Huda Quran translation. I would like to open this in the new tab, new window. There we go. This is the book that I was referencing earlier on, right, in the in my introduction to last session, and this is the one that I studied from when I was memorizing these words word for word. And Surah Qasas here starts on page 11. Yes, this is a lot more of a old school translation, as you will notice, right? And we will mix and mash between the two because our objective is to try to understand how the words are broken down. That's what we're trying to get at. The Quran, instead of being one continuous stream of sounds and words, we want to break it down into chunks. And once we can do that enough, we will see a pattern emerge, inshallah. Okay, so that is also a resource. This is the drive folder I made just maybe like right before Isha. So you'll get it, don't worry. But all the resources will be there, inshallah. And the final resource here is that textbook. but we will only reference it on a need basis, inshallah. Okay, so we will not reference it currently. We will reference it only on a need basis. Now, we are going to jump into ayah number 4 right away. Okay, now as we jump into ayah number 4, I want you to remember that we're gonna look for the root of the word. You know, I'm gonna actually backtrack a second. Before we jump into ayah number 4, I'm gonna add 2 more things here in the basic Arabic concepts that I didn't type in the recap, but we covered last time. Okay, just so that we are all on the same page, and now it's captured here. The concept of root letters. I'm gonna talk about that first, and also I'm gonna talk about the ism, fi'il, harf. Right? We spoke about those 2 things. I just want to make sure everybody's on the same page. Root letters, if you remember, were as follows. Let's put it this way. Sorry. The 99% of Arabic words have a triliteral root. I'm going to put a approximate there. Okay. Triliteral root means that there's 3 letters that form the core meaning. You know, this is actually not going to work. I'm going to increase the size of the font, but that doesn't also work. Okay, I think this is probably the biggest it can get for now. Is that okay? Okay, core meaning of the word. Okay, now last time, if you remember, I shared with you the meaning of the word salam. Yes, and the different variants of it. We had from the root, for example, root letters. We will list them in order. Sin, lam, mim. Okay, if I was writing in English, I would write it as sin, lam, mim. I'm not, when I talk about root, I'm talking about the individual letter by letter. Okay, what do I get from this? Okay, the core meaning is peace, security, and a safety, right? These are the core meanings of these 3 letters. These 3 letters don't only correspond to 3 meanings. I'm just sharing this as a approximation. Okay. Then you have the following words. You have the word. There we go. You have the word sallama. Sallama, which means to give the greeting of what? Salam, right? To say assalamu alaikum to everybody. You're saying you are safe from me, my harm. Yes, I come to you in peace, you are safe. Okay, you have the word, obviously the word salam, right? The word salam is peace, the greeting of peace, right? It's one of the names of Allah, As-Salam, the one who gives peace. Okay, same 3 root letters. You notice the sin, lam, and mim. There's an additional letter here, alif, but that is okay. The core remains those 3. We have another one. Greeting of peace, excuse me. We have another one. Aslama. If you remember, Aslama. Aslama. Can I make this bigger? Let's see. Sorry. Google. Disappointing. Okay, what is it? What's the shortcut there? Option 0. Okay, let's go there. Allahu Akbar. There we go. A little bigger, okay? I'll format it afterwards. I'm very, very, very particular about formatting. At work, when someone like sends me a document that's not formatted, I'm just like, I'm going at them like, guys, what are you doing? Okay. Okay. Aslama, to accept Islam. To accept Islam. What does accepting Islam mean? You are safe from Allah's punishment. You are a person who has safety. You are tranquility. You have peace. SubhanAllah. These are interrelated meanings. Okay. tasallama, tasallama, ma, which means to uh, to give up something, to to give up something. That means like you are in a situation like that thing that you have surrendered or given up, it has now attained a state of security. Okay, the same root letters you will see: sin, lam, mim, sin, lam, mim, sin, lam, mim. Okay, with additions before or after or in between, but those three letters you will find them again and again and again. Okay, this is the main idea. By the way, also we have other words related to this. We could add the word, for example, Muslim. Yes, Muslim. Same three letters: sin, lam, mim. Islam, sin, lam, mim. This is the idea. You have three letters that form the core meaning of the word, and from that a number of derivatives are formed. Inshallah, when you study more advanced Arabic, you will realize these are families of derivatives, right? This is the sallama family, right? Or fa'ala family as they call it. And that has a particular connotation and a particular format and, subhanAllah, a whole set of meanings. And then this is the aslama or af'ala family, and there's like 9 or 10 of these patterns. It's really beautiful stuff. Like, it's honestly, the old Arabs would say this. When I say old Arabs, I mean the Bedouins of the 7th century Arabia. Okay, they would call themselves Arab and call the non-Arabs Ajam. Yes, do you know why? Do you know what the actual reason for that is? They're like, the Ajam will take so much longer to explain something that we can explain concisely. That's what the core meaning of the word Arab means, right? And Ajam is to just expand, expand, expand. The point is the language gives them the ability to concisely and densely communicate that another group of people speaking another language will take a lot longer to communicate. Subhanallah. And this is, anybody who learns Fusha Arabic will absolutely feel that, right? That the power of the language is so intense that you can communicate complex ideas in a few sentences. And because the sentences are based on structures and the word patterns are based on categories, there's a whole host of meanings you can imply without ever having to spell them out. And the reader or the audience is supposed to then listen and infer those meanings. This is actually part of the struggle that we have as a people who are detached so significantly from the language of the Quran and the language of the Sunnah. And this, by the way, applies, in my opinion, to even people who ethnically are Arab. Like, there is a large detachment. Unless you've studied Arabic in an Arabic country, unless you're in that situation, then that doesn't apply to you. But generally, there's a large detachment, and that, unfortunately, the implications are lost. The implications, the power is lost. So we're hoping, inshallah, with this, you get some of that back. Okay. So this is the idea of root letters. The last idea is ism, fi'l, harf. Okay. Do you remember I said all Arabic words, or let's put this, all Arabic / words in the Quran can be categorized as one of three. Number one, ism, closest approximation of it is a noun. Okay, closest approximation. Maybe I'll use another. Is a noun. Okay, it's more than a noun. It includes a whole. It includes adjectives. It includes adverbs. But generally, it is describing a person or a thing. That is a ism. Okay, and in terms of its Arabic, anytime you have a tanween, or an al, that is an ism. Okay. And I'll repeat this many times. You will remember this by the end of it. Okay. The next one is fi'l. Fi'l is approximately what? What do you think? A verb, right? A verb. Excellent. The interesting nuance of a fi'l in Arabic that doesn't exist in English, and not to my knowledge doesn't exist in non-Semitic languages, but I'm not expert in languages, is that it carries with it a doer. The doer in it is implicit. Okay, so if I say he read a book, yes, in fact, maybe you'll write this down. We'll do it like this. One second, I thought this was, oh, shift. He read a book, yes? Okay. The red is your fi'l, yes? The red is your fi'l here. And the reader is he. Try that. See, sister squinting in the back, so I'm gonna try to do my best here to make it a little bigger. Okay. You can, if you want to move up to the row there, you're welcome to, but however you see fit. Okay, inshallah. Like, I don't know the dynamic that well here, but completely up to you all, inshallah. Okay. The he, the one who's reading, has to be spelled out. Yes, that's obvious to us, right? In Arabic, if I was to write it, it would be written like this. قرأ كتابا. Okay. You would notice قرأ is the fi'l, the verb. That means to read. But the he part is implied there. It's implicit there, not implied. It's implicit. It's part of it. It's not spelled out. This is a very important, almost like it makes a world of a difference. You know why? Because if you grow up in this context of understanding that a action has a doer, yes, implicitly, your understanding of the world is completely different, because you understand that there's a causation. If the world exists, someone has to bring it into existence. From a point of view of epistemology, right? The study of how we understand things. This small Arabic grammar concept changes the whole dynamic, the whole framework. Yes. Correct. There's that is a more advanced part. What it would become qara'at. There's a pronoun added, right? That will change or transform the doer, or the implicit doer. It highlights to the audience that it's someone else, right? But it's all done within the word itself. That's the key part. It's actually inseparable. Okay. So this is a difference. So even though it's a verb, I said, right? And you will notice when we study it, there's going to be a pronoun, or there's going to be a doer or an actor, whichever way you want to classify it, within that particular verb. Okay, so please keep that in mind as we notice that. And finally, number 3, if I can get this to come here. There. Oh. Why isn't it letting me type in? Am I typing in Arabic? No, type in English. Sorry, folks. A little bit of a formatting trouble here, but that's okay. And the last one is harf. Harf, we will say, is a closest thing to a preposition. For example, in, on, to, etc. Okay, that is harf. Okay, I will keep reminding you of this. Don't worry, you will remember it. It will be coming out of your ears. by the end of the class. Don't worry. Inshallah. Okay. Now let's get into Surah Qasas. Um, man, I used to teach a lot of Arabic before, and I have so many lame English to Arabic jokes. You will be like sick of it if I start. Okay. And I have my good friends. Uh, we alhamdulillah, we don't meet unfortunately as often, but whenever we do meet, it's like the most bizarro like jokes. Like the dad jokes don't even compare. It's all like lame Arabic to English jokes. Okay. So I'm gonna make a few as we go along. You have to tolerate me with that. Okay. Let's start with surah number 4, surah number 28, Surah Qasas, ayah number 4. Okay. This is a good resource across the board. Okay, because there's a pronunciation here. Please listen to this. You can click on the word and it will recite it for you and whatnot. Okay. Inna, indeed, Fir'auna, Fir'aun, ala, exalted himself, fil ard, he in al-ardi, the land. Let's look at this in the other book. Oh, what happened? Page 11. Hold on. Okay, let's look at how it breaks down the same ayah in the other version, because they break it down a little further. You see, inna is a word. Yes, inna means indeed. Inna means indeed, and inna is a harf. Let me type this here. Sorry, folks, give me 1 second here. Uh, Tanzil.net. Oh, sorry. Yes. I don't know. I think Quran.com has one. Quran.com, but I don't know if it's word for word. But I'll look for it, right? Is that? Yeah. Okay. 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 Quran.com. Okay. But this one I don't know. I don't think it does. Okay. Let me paste the ayah so I don't have to. You don't have to watch me type like a miskin here. Okay. Let me do that. Clear formatting. Oh, yeah. It's not very good formatting, but that's okay. We will tolerate it, inshallah. The formatting here. Okay. Okay. Inna fir'auna ala fil ard. Let's break it down. Inna is a harf. It is a harf, and it is the meaning of it is indeed. Okay. It is to emphasize the sentence that is coming afterwards. You will notice this in the Quran a lot, right? Inna a'tainaka al-kawthar. Inna anzalnahu fi laylatil qadr. Right? Inna al-insana lafi khusr. This is very frequent. Yes. This is a classical Arabic way of emphasizing. You didn't have formatting. You didn't have any type of punctuation to bold something or to underline something. This is how it would be done. Inna. Yes, question. Of course, please. But do your thing, inshallah. Jazakallah khair. May Allah make it easy for you, inshallah. Fir'aun, of course, is a proper noun. It's the name of a person. Fir'aun, the pharaoh. What truly did happen with Fir'aun? We'll write this down here. Fir'aun is an ism, and there's no like root here. It's just a word, right? It's just a name. And it's a non-Arabic name, so it doesn't have a root necessarily. Okay. Now the next word is ala. Ala. This is a yes. Yeah. Yes. Not always. So it's a great question by Nawaba here. It's like the ism Fir'aun doesn't have al or tanween. But you told us ism has al or tanween. Yes? The way to think about it is the other way. If there is a tanween or an al, it's an ism. But there are other also indicators of it that I haven't shared with you just yet. Okay? These are two of the more important ones. Okay? But not exhaustive. Great observation. Ala, what does ala means? Ala means exalted himself. Yes? Exalted himself. In the other translation, it says, he exalted. He transgressed. Okay? So what do you think this is going to be? Ism, fi'l, or harf? Fi'l, right? Because you notice there's a he there. There is a implicit doer. This is going to be a fi'l. A fi'l, which means he exalted. Okay, its root we will ignore for now because it will confuse you. So I don't want to talk about it. The root that's not going to confuse you, I'll share that with you. Okay, fi is a harf, and what does fi mean? Fi means in. Fi means in. He exalted himself. Fi. This is a harf. It means in. Al-ardi. This should be easy. What is al-ardi? Ism, fi'l, al-harf. What do you think? Al. Al. You have al. It is a ism. Very good. Alhamdulillah. And al-ardi means the land. Al-ardi means the land. Generally, when you say al-ardi, you mean person's kingdom, whatever it is, like they are, wherever they're ruling, essentially, right? Wherever they're existing, not the whole earth. Okay? إن فرعون علا في الأرض وجعل أهلها شيعا. Very important ayah. If you are a student of political science or history, this ayah should pique your interest. What does he say? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he says, وَجَعَلَ. And, wa means and. Ja'ala. Ja'ala, it says made. Let's look at the other book that breaks it down further. Wa and ja'ala. What do you notice it says? He made. What do you think this is now? A fi'l. It's an action, right? The doer here is he, referring to Fir'aun. He made. Ahlaha. How many words is ahlaha, in your opinion? 2 words. The first word is ahl. The second word is ha. This is how Arabic works. You have a bunch of words that are written together. We don't have spaces in Arabic until the end of a combination of words. Okay, that's how it works. Here, 2 words are written together, and they will always be written together in this particular case. Fi and al-ardi, 2 words written separately. Ahlaha, 2 words written as one. Okay, this is just the way it is. Ahlaha, its people. Shiya'an, shiya'an, into groups or sects. Have you heard of the other version of Islam or the other sect of Islam? What are they called? Shia, from the same root letter or the same root meaning. Shi'atu Ali, what they were used to be called, the group of Ali, radiallahu anhu. We would say we're the group of Ali, right? Ahl Sunnah, we would say we are the group of Ali. Okay, no one, they can't claim him for himself, right, or for themselves. But the root of that is the same word, right? Something that's a group. Shi'an here is the plural groups. Okay, let's write this out. Let's write this out. Let me take. وَجَعَلَ أَهْلَهَا شِيَعًا. We have wa. Wa is a harf, which means and. Wa is a harf, which means and. Ja'ala is a fi'l. It means he made, as you saw, yes? And I'm going to add one more bar here. Its root letters are Jim, Ain, and Lam. Okay. Now, this is one root letter you will notice comes a lot in the Quran, and we will repeat it. We will focus on it again and again. Ahlaha. Two words. The first word is, I'll make this indented. Ahl. Yes. The second word, ha. Okay. Now, the word ahl means a number of meanings. It's an ism. It means people. It also means family. Okay. Ahl means family. In certain situations, ahl actually means the wife or the husband as well, but we'll include that in family. And the root is obvious, right? You can tell. What are the root letters? Hamza, ha, and lam. Okay, Hamza, ha, and lam. This is something that will come. Why is it doing this to me? All right, I'll fix it later. Hamza, ha, and lam. Forgive the miskeen formatting here. Okay, we have ahl. Then we have ha. Ha is just ha actually means she or it. Okay. He made its people Shi'an. What did he make them into? Right? What did he do with the people of the land? He made them into groups, divided and then conquered and ruled. Okay. Subhanallah. This is the playbook of the colonials, right? Or the colonialists. They take and they divide and they rule. Now, groups, this is an ism. You can notice because of the tanween there. Groups is the translation, okay, or sects. And the root letter here is sheen, ya, and ain, okay? Something that is split up. وَجَعَلَ أَهْلَهَا شِيَعًا. Now we get into a fun word, okay? يَسْتَضْعِفُ طَائِفَةً مِّنْهُمْ. يَسْتَضْعِفُ طَائِفَةً مِّنْهُمْ. Let's go back to our website. Then we'll go to the PDF and then we'll come to the notes. يَسْتَضْعِفُ. Oppressing. Its root letter is ضاد, ain, and fa. From that, you get the word ضعيف. ضعيف is someone who is weak. يَسْتَضْعِفُ. He is putting pressure and making someone weak. He's seeking to make something weak. Who is, in this case, the one who's trying to make weak? The Pharaoh is trying to make the people weak. Okay? But not all people. Ta'ifatan, a group. Ta'ifa is a group. Minhum, two words. From them. Okay? Let's look at how it breaks down. Yastad'ifu. He seeks to weaken. He seeks to weaken. Because of this, you will now hopefully see that this is going to be a fi'l. Yes, because there is an action and there is an implicit actor, right? The action is seeking to weaken, and the actor is he. Ta'ifatan, a group, and a group here is a ism. As you notice, there's two fathas, it's a tanween. Minhum, how many words? Two words. Do you notice a pattern here? Ahlaha, its people. From them. Generally, when you have two words written like this, the second word is the pronoun. It's a pronoun, right? Them, it, he, she, etc. Notice it, inshallah. It will come through. From them. He is seeking to weaken a group from them. Okay, let's break it down a little bit further. يستضعف. يستضعف. This is a fi'l. Excuse me. This is a, that's a fail for me. There we go. Get it as a fail. Sorry. I'm gonna make bad jokes. You have to be okay with it. He uh, seeks to weaken. Okay. And its root letters are Dad, Ain, and Fa. And one word I shared with you from that same root is something that's weak. Okay. Ta'ifatan. Ta'ifatan. Ta'ifatan is, it's an ism, and what is the group, or what is the translation? A group, right? A group, perfect. Group, and the root here is going to confuse you, so I'm going to leave it. Okay. We will cover that some other time, inshallah. Minhum is from them. Two words. The first word is min. Min means from. Okay. And this is a harf, meaning from. Okay. And then you have whom. Whom is a pronoun. We're just going to take the translation of it, not worry about it right now. It means them. Okay. يَسْتَضْعِفُ طَائِفَةً مِّنْهُمْ. How did he oppress? Let's take a quick look at what the ayah is saying. Fir'aun he arrogantly elevated himself in the land and divided its people into subservient groups. Okay. He's dividing and conquering. And how is he? One of which he persecuted. One of those groups he was persecuting. That will be Bani Israel. Okay. And how would he persecute them? يُذَبِّحُ أَبْنَاءَهُمْ وَيَسْتَحْيِي نِسَاءَهُمْ. In the most brutal way that you can imagine. يُذَبِّحُ, slaughtering. يُذَبِّحُ, slaughtering. Who? أَبْنَاءَهُمْ, their sons. And يَسْتَحْيِي, allowing to live, letting live. Who? نِسَاءَهُمْ, their women. Okay, let's look at this again. يُذَبِّحُ, he slaughters. Notice that they also wrote something here in the bracket, much, right? Do you notice that? There's a little much there that's written in a bracket, right? What in this translation, what they're trying to do is that there is the category of words, the family of words has an implication. When you add a shadda in certain patterns, the meaning is amplified. Okay. And that's why they would add something like a much here. I'll explain that one when we write it down further. يُذَبِّحُ, he slaughters. You will notice that this is what? Ism or a fi'l or a harf. This is a fi'l. You can see that there is a action, slaughtering, and there is a actor, he. أَبْنَاءَهُم, how many words? Two. And do you notice the second part of the word is the second word is a pronoun, right? Their sons, from them, its people. Yes? That second part, the second meaning in Arabic, it's written at the end. That part is a pronoun here. Abna'ahum, their sons. He's slaughtering their sons. Wa, and yastahi, he lets live. He does not kill, leaves them alive. Nisa'ahum, how many words? Two. Nisa'a, first word. Hum, second word. Right? Their women. Again, you notice the pronoun is there. Okay? Let's write it a little further here. يُذَبِّ أَبْنَاهُمْ وَيَسْتَحْيِي نِسَاءَهُم. Okay? Okay, we here يُذَبِّحُ. Do you remember what it was? Ism or fi'l or harf? This was a fi'l, yes? Why? Because he slaughters. He slaughters. Is that correct spelling? Yes, that's. The root letters are the, ba, and ha. From that, can you tell me a word? Maybe you know a word that comes from there. Dhabiha. Yes, right. Dhabiha halal. Right? Because the halal that has been slaughtered. Yes, the animal has been slaughtered, not the person. The animal has been sacrificed, slaughtered. That's called dhabiha from the same root. Now, what's interesting is as follows, and I will show you one other thing here. Okay, I will show you a resource. This is an old school resource. I don't even think it renders correctly on a mobile screen. Okay, a lot of these things I have them bookmarked from when I was studying, and at that time, like mobile friendly screens were not really a thing. Okay, but I think maybe they have made a mobile version of this too. Okay, now this is a really beautiful site, but you notice what I'm doing. I'm writing the root letters. You can actually type them in English as well if you want, right? You can type the English as like the, ba, I think ha is a H. Close. Oh, in fact, it's right there. Look at that. It got me to the, ba, ha. Huh? Pretty nice. They've done a good job. Okay. What this is doing actually, what EdgeTall is that it takes a number of dictionaries, okay, and it has indexed them, and you can search them by its root. Subhanallah. Yeah? And this, I have my own like collection bookmarked. So I have Hansware. Hansware is the English student learning Arabic's favorite dictionary. At least used to be before the advent of these tools. Okay, you would, it was compiled by the guy named Hansware. Turned out to be a Nazi. He was a German who was, because the German and the Ottomans were allied, right? So the Germans would learn Arabic to be able to communicate with the Ottomans in the Muslim world. This guy turned out he made a good contribution, but subhanallah, man, why do you have to be like that? Okay. The other one is Lane, William Lane. Allahu alam if he died a Muslim or not. We pray he died a Muslim, but he's a Englishman who lived in Egypt for many decades and compiled this book called Lane's Lexicon. It is the most comprehensive dictionary you will find in any language, English or Arabic or Urdu or others. This man did an enormous service, compiled all the Arabic lexicons into one place. Really phenomenal, honestly. Okay. Unfortunately, he didn't finish. He died in the middle of it. He died when he reached the letter Qaf. Okay. So the bad joke here is that he coughed and astaghfirullah. Telling you, I have a lot of bad jokes in Arabic. Okay. The other one is, of course, Lisan al-Arab. This is an Arabic dictionary. This is by one of the great scholars who compiled all the words in Arabic and their roots and their meanings. And they all are organized by root. My favorite one is Mufradat by Ar-Raghib al-Asfahani, one of the great scholars and linguists out of Asfahan, which is in modern-day Iran. He was not Arab, actually. He was Persian, but became a great scholar of Arabic. And he would explain the part that I love really, is that he explains why the word, the core meaning, why is it that the Arabs would use that core meaning? Like there's some image in the sky. That's why they will call that thing that, right? This part is so fascinating. The sheep, or excuse me, the dog that leads the sheep, right? Imagine a flock of sheep, and then there's the guard dog, and then there's a dog that's leading the sheep. That dog would be called Hadiyus Sabil. Okay, so the word of Huda, guidance, the image of it is from that dog, back before the Quran was revealed. Yes, that's what he does, right? So he's a real amazing scholar. So he has a lot of things here. So obviously I will not get into this, but I want to show you something from our friend Hans Wehr. Okay, look at this. Dhabaha, to kill. This is hard to read, but please stay with me. Okay, to kill. But now look at this. There's a 2 here, a Roman numeral 2. To slaughter, butcher, massacre. Yes? So the word here is dhabaha, which means to kill. You add a shadda, it becomes to what? To massacre, to butcher, right? just by adding that shadda to that root, they have amplified the meaning. From just mere killing, amplified it to massacre. Subhanallah. Okay, this is the power of the language. I'm just trying to give you a glimpse of it, right? Just a small shadda, just a little thing here, has added an amplification of the meaning. And it's a powerful amplification. يُذَبِّحُ Fir'aun was slaughtering their sons. Yes? يُذَبِّحُ أَبْنَاءَهُم. Yes, Nawabay. Yes. How did they know? How did they know? Excellent question. How did they know it is not يَذْبَحُ أَبْنَاءَهُم instead of يُذَبِّحُ? So they would know it because the Prophet recited it, sallallahu to them. But also, you could, it would be out of place for it not to be. The Quran has a pattern, right? So it would break the pattern of the Quran if it didn't follow it, right? So there's a few ways to do it. But this is a very advanced question, mashallah. I hope that makes sense though. It would be because the Prophet recited it, so they knew, but also once you, the people of that time, the language was so innate to them that it would be understood. Yeah, this has to be yudhabbihu. Okay. Also, if you listen, sometimes people recite Quran differently. Maliki Yawmiddin. This is one of the reasons why. If the word could accept both meanings, complementary meanings, tashkil wise, it was two different recitations. Okay. But that's a different topic as well. Inshallah, we'll end in about 7 minutes at 9:15, inshallah. Okay. That's the hour, right? For us? Okay, great. Abna'ahum. Abna'ahum is two words. The first word is abna. Yes. Abna is an ism. Abna is a ism, and it means sons, and it's singular. What do you think is the singular? I'll tell you. We'll do the singular first here. It is ibn, right? The word ibn or ibnun is the singular. You may hear Abdullah ibn Mas'ud. Yes, the ibn part, Abdullah the son of Mas'ud, for example. Yes. Hum is them, right? Or them/their, right? Because the translation is them sons is, mashallah, a little too hip, but their sons is more correct. Abna'ahum. Wa means and. Okay. Wa and. I will share my wow jokes with you later, and I'll spare you them tonight, inshallah. I'll save the wow jokes for later. Oh man. Yastahi. Yastahi is a, if you notice from here, he lets live. This is a fi'l, right? Because there's an action and an actor. Fi'l. He lets live. The root letters of this is ha, ya, and ya. From that, you get the word hayy, the name of Allah, al-hayy, the ever-living. Yes, hayyun, someone who is alive. Excellent, right? Hayatun, life. Yes, all these beautiful words that you may have heard come from this root letter. The core meaning is that yastahi, he lets them live, meaning he doesn't kill them. Okay, it's a very brutal image too, right? It's a demonstration of power. That's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is trying to highlight to us here. وَيَسْتَحْيِي, the word after that is nisa'ahum. How many words? Right, the first word is nisa'a, and this is an ism, and it means women. Actually means women. Okay, but it's, when it says their women, it means their daughters, right? So it's a correct guess, but the word women is used interchangeably for daughters and elders. Okay, the singular of it is very, this is one of the rare exceptions. Generally, Arabic plurals and singulars have like a pattern you can predict, right? but this is like this is like breaking the norm. The singular here is uh, mar'a, mar'atun. Yes, I put the shadda under or the sukun, the long phrase. Mar'atun. Or another one is imra'atun. Same like the imra'atun. Okay, imra'atun. I will show you quickly something that jumping ahead, one example of this, so that you don't you can kind of correlate the two. You look at this. وَقَالَتِ امْرَأَةُ فِرْعَوْنَ. Imra'a means what? Woman, right? The woman of Fir'aun. Who is woman of Fir'aun? The wife of Fir'aun. The wife of Fir'aun said, and then we'll come to that inshallah soon. But this is how the word is used. Imra'a is woman, singular. Nisa is the plural. Okay, so it's coming up inshallah in the ayah. وقالت sorry إنه nisa'ahum, and whom of course is the same them and their. Okay, I'll copy paste that for the sake of time. إنه كان من المفسدين. إنه, indeed. Inna is indeed, right? The same inna as before. You notice this inna? Yes? And you notice this inna. Any differences between the two? There's a who there. Right? You could say, who that? Sorry. And innahu is actually two words. It's actually two words. The first word is inna. The second word is who. Indeed, he. Indeed, he. Kana. Kana means was in the past tense. Min, this is a mina, but this actually, the fatha is for a reason of joining the two words. It's a pronunciation reason. The word is min. Min means from. Okay, min means from. Here they translated off. I'll explain why in a second. Al-mufsidina, the corruptors. Okay, let's look at this. Innahu kana min al-mufsidin. Indeed, inna, indeed, who, he, kana, he was, min, from, al-mufsidin, those who cause corruption, make mischief. Okay, let's take this, and inshallah we'll conclude with that inshallah. And then just one quick reflection on the ayah before we conclude inshallah. Innahu is two words. Innahu is two words. The first word is inna, and you know what inna means. Inna means indeed, right? And then who is he. Okay, innahu, and you will notice in the Quran a lot. Innahu kana huban kabira. Innahu, frequently repeats. Innahu kana tawwaba, for example, right? Kana is a fi'l. Do you know why? He was. But this is, a fi'l that is telling you someone was something or will be something, etc. Right? So it still has, it doesn't have an action necessarily, but it has the same construct as an actor and an action. Indeed, he, so this is a fi'l, which means he was. Innahu kana. Now let's look at the next word. And the root letter of kana we can ignore for now. I'll come back to that later. Min, mina. Okay, now let me zoom in on something here. Okay, do you notice that there is a, what's on this lam? Sukun. The al, the alif also actually has a sukun in reality, right? The alif is there to tell you, if you're starting the word, say a, right? Al-mufsidin. But if you're not starting it, you skip the sound. It's almost like it's a silent alif, it is not there, right? Now, if you have min, and you have this lam with a sukun, yes? This is a problem phonetically. You have two sukuns back to back. okay? And then you cannot pronounce the words, okay? So then the first sukoon transforms into something to be able for you to join the two words. This is, believe me, this is the actual rationale. I'm not making it up, okay? This is how they provide the rationale, right? So the is added to it for the sake of connecting it to the next word, okay? That's the reasoning. So min al mufsidin, in fact, it's min, but the na is just because we needed to pronounce the word correctly. What is min? This is a harf. This is a harf. This means from. From al-mufsidin, maybe I'll just make this a little shorter. Al-mufsidin. Subhanallah, where to go? Oh, there. Al-mufsidin is an ism because you notice there's an al there. Yes? The meaning is the ones who make mischief, the one who cause corruption, the corruptors. I like corruptors. Not that I like them, but the word is easier to write, corruptors. Okay? And the root letter here is fa, sin, and dal. Yes? From that, you can think of the word fasad, right? Fasad is corruption, right? Fasad is corruption. From that, you get mufsid. Yes, the one who causes corruption. Okay, innahu kana minal mufsidin. Inshallah. Now look at what the ayah is saying. We've looked at it, broken it down word for word. Alhamdulillah. It's a longer ayah for us, and we spent a little bit of time reviewing. But look at what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says here. Inna fir'auna ala fil ard. Fir'aun, or the Pharaoh, behaved arrogantly in the land, divided the people into groups, seeking to weaken one section or one faction. يُذَبِّحُ أَبْنَاءَهُم, slaughtering or slaying their sons and sparing their daughters. He was truly one of those who spread corruption on the land. This was Fir'aun's playbook. He would divide the people he would rule, because he wasn't only ruling over Bani Israel, he was ruling over a whole bunch of people. He would divide them into groups, right? So they're unable to unite and revolt. And then he would single out one group for his brutality. And that would basically be an example for everybody else. You dared double cross me, that's what's going to happen to you as well. So that would make everybody fall into place. And this is the playbook of every colonial empire of the past. They would divide, they would brutalize like at least one group that they would think generally this is where the revolt would come, or this is where the resistance would arise from. They would brutalize them to pacify the rest, or create a sense of apathy among the rest. Subhanallah. This is how the Quran describes what Fir'aun would do. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will tell us, even in the most darkest situation, the rise will happen, right? وَنُرِيدُ أَن نَمُنَّ عَلَى الَّذِينَ اسْتُضْعِفُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ. We wish to favor those who were oppressed in the land, to make them leaders, and to make them of the ones who inherit the earth and rule it. Subhanallah. So we pray that this is something we also get to see for our brothers and sisters, inshallah. But today we will end with that ayah. Next class, I would wish, now that we have a format, and now we have a better way of documenting our notes, inshallah, I will prep some of the files ahead of time, and the files will be in this folder. It will be in, where's the folder? They'll be in this folder here. SubhanAllah, I thought there was a folder right there. Yes, this folder that I have shared with everybody. Okay, once you have the link, inshallah, you should be able to access these files and view them. And then we will prep that, and inshallah try to get, the goal is to get to about half a page of Quran. So see, if I zoom out here for a sec here, you notice this is a page of the Quran. Yes, you open the Musaf, it's the same page. This is a page as well. The goal for us is to cover about half the page in a class. So we have about 6 classes left. If you can do half a page, you get 3 pages and a half that's left. That's a good amount of the story. That's a good amount of words, right? So now we have a bit of a foundation. That's how, inshallah, we will be rolling. That, inshallah, hopefully is the plan going forward. Questions or comments?
Figuring out what the root letters are on the first time we're hearing the story.
It's going to be hard. It won't be obvious immediately. There is another resource that I will share with you. Why isn't it changing? Come on. Quran corpus. So Quran corpus, guys, these are I think these are folks who yeah. So see I think they were the guys who made the first version of the script that was used by Quran.com, and then every other site afterwards and every other app. So they have this thing called syntactic. No, where is it? Translation dictionary, Quran dictionary. There, right? So they organize the words by root letters. You see, like the word root letters are there. Let me zoom in just for you to see a little bit more. And the root letters they give some like definitions and whatnot, right? Adam occurs 25, but that's not a very interesting word. Abaqa will be like once or something, I think. Look at that, only once. I remember that. This is like a trick question. You know, the Quran trivia, this could be one of the Quran trivia words. Okay. There's a few of them that are, so they give this way, right? You can search for the word here. Maybe you have word, yeah, there we go. Okay. So this is the list of words. So you can maybe even like just do like a control F and search through here. There's a few options. I'll share this resource, inshallah, in the notes as well. But this is a really beautiful site, QuranCorpus.com. That's really the only way currently. Inshallah, like as we see more patterns, it will become more obvious, inshallah. I hope that answers your question. There is a list, right? There is a list. I personally am not a fan of that approach because those words will be out of context. You probably will not be able to remember them. In this way, there is some context. The sentence and the story is building up. And then, inshallah, the retention will be a little bit better in this way. You can try. I'm not saying that it's not a possible thing to do, but you can try that. There's like an 80% of Quran, 80% of Quran words PDF, right? Yeah. This is why Dr. Abdul Rahim, I think, if I'm not mistaken, what's the guy's name? Qadi Imran Khan's dad. These are folks who are based out of Saudi, but they're Indian originally. Dr. Abdul Aziz Abdul Rahim, excuse me. He's the guy, right? So they have done these words where it's the top words, right? Hada, dhalika, hadihi. So you could try that, right? And I think that could be a good resource as well. I'll add both of these resources in the notes, inshallah. Okay? No. This one, yes, but you might have to go to Misaga. Yeah. So you can get it from Al-Huda's bookstore in Misaga. But the whole thing is available for free online as well. Inshallah. Okay. Jazakumullah khairan. Thank you very much, everybody, for staying the whole class. I appreciate you all. And inshallah, we'll see you on next Tuesday. جزاكم الله خيرا سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد ان لا اله الا انت نستغفرك ونتوب اليك السلام عليكم ورحمه الله وبركاته